We're here with the Valor today with a very special person. We have Ed Nixon, a Vietnam War veteran, Purple Heart recipient, living about an hour out of Charlotte. Beautiful mountainside, which y'all will see photos of here very soon. But more importantly, we're here to get to know this very special man.
Thank you.
Sir, were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted, yeah.
What year was that?
Let's see, I went in 1968.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and where'd you go to boot camp?
Fort Bragg.
Fort Bragg, and
Yeah.
you were infantry, I see that.
Yeah, 11 Bravo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, foot soldier, and then straight to Vietnam after boot camp?
No, I went to Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Yeah.
That was what they called AIT training.
Yes, sir.
And just about everybody at Fort Polk went to Vietnam. We were probably after basic, we were down there probably 3 months, something like that. Come home for a short period of time, and then went straight to Vietnam. Mm-hmm.
How was your feeling of patriotism in the country prior to going to Vietnam? Was there still a lot of support for y'all, or were you feeling a little?
I felt a lot of support. My dad was Second World War veteran, Purple Heart also.
Okay.
And because of his upbringing and all, I felt I guess the freedom that we have in this country,
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
Yes, sir.
And that I wasn't gonna run from being drafted. You know, we know numerous people did.
Yeah.
And all, but I think a lot of to do with him and knowing that he served our country, that I should also.
I can fully relate to that. My father served. He was actually just before Vietnam, after Korea, but my uncle served in Vietnam. Both uncles served in Vietnam. Three of my uncles served in Vietnam. Sorry, two in the Marines, one in the Army, and then someone in the Navy. I think it may have been my second cousin or something. And like you, and unlike you, but after 9/11 for me, like you, there was no, didn't seem to be an option. It was, we're being attacked and that's not going to happen anymore.
Amen.
Right?
That's right. Yeah.
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 And then you built up to Vietnam. And had you met your wife prior?
Yeah, we were married.
Okay.
When I got drafted. I think we had been married 3 years. I had attended community college, and I had gotten out of community college, and at that time I was classified, I think they call it A1, and it wasn't long after I was reclassified that I was called up.
Did the community college help you with, did they give you any rank or any responsibilities above, because you were enlisted, correct? As was I. Were you enlisted?
Yeah, I was enlisted. Yeah. No, not really.
Okay.
I had went in my early years. I'm a Protestant, but I had went to a Catholic school.
Okay.
And I graduated from a Catholic school, and I think that set a lot of things up as far as the way I believed and all too. And a Catholic school back then was run by nuns, and they were pretty strict, you know. So I feel like that kind of shaped me as far as that goes.
Made you a better soldier?
Probably, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I believe the same. I believe faith is a very important pillar to human existence, and sometimes those without any faith whatsoever seem to wander lost. But as far as a soldier's perspective, that discipline, I could see how that helped a lot.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Only by the grace of God am I sitting here today. I've had people killed as close as you are to me in Vietnam, and the shrapnel that I took that night could have very well been larger or hit me at a different place
Yeah.
than it hit me, and I wouldn't have been here. But for the grace of God, I'm here.
And thank God you are here.
Amen.
Do you mind backing that up a little bit and maybe what was if you can talk about it, what was the mission about? Who is in charge? What were your objectives, and lead right up into that
Yeah.
time you were wounded, if you don't mind.
We were at a fire support base,
Okay.
what they call then, and we had, I think, 2 companies set up there, and we had dug um, in the ground and built our bunkers up to where we had direct fire
Yes,
out
sir.
of those bunkers. We had 2 105 howitzers there,
Nice.
and we had probably been there maybe a week,
Okay.
and we had an LP out, a listening post out, and we had an ambush out also that we typically did from there. And I don't know what time it was during the night that we got hit, probably maybe early morning. And like I say, we just had 2 companies set up there, and supposedly we got hit by a reinforced regiment of the NVA.
Okay.
And we fought all night, and our LP and our ambush all got killed. We were overran on one side of our perimeter. We actually had to call fire in to that area of our perimeter.
Was it danger close?
Very
Straight up on
close.
top of you?
Very close. Very
Okay.
close. And I was firing a M60 machine gun, and we had run short of ammunition, and I had crawled through we had like a dugout trench-like thing from bunker to bunker, and I had crawled through there to the next bunker, hollering America, trying to make sure that I didn't get shot, friendly fire. But got some more ammunition that night and brought it back to our bunker. And after that, like I say, I was firing an M60 machine gun. Then all of a sudden, I felt something real hot on my neck, and I had gotten hit with shrapnel, and I could see blood coming out, and they got me, and I was dusted off. Fortunately, they got a medevac in and got me out of there, and took to Saigon to the hospital where I was cared for there.
And then out of country, or?
Pardon?
Then were you flown out of country?
No,
eventually?
no.
Okay.
In
Story continues.
probably 2 or 3 days, I was back in the field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
can understand that too.
Where I got hit and the size of the piece of shrapnel, which is still in my neck, when they do x-rays and things of me, they say, you got something in your neck? but anyway.
I'm sad to say I understand that too.
Yeah. But no, within a few days, I was back in the field.
Wow.
Back up to it again.
Thank you. Thank you. I know listeners out there, when this is released, or hopefully listeners of some of the younger generations are hearing this, and in their own mind, maybe trying, though they can't fathom, maybe trying to understand. Because in my generation, sir, Operation Iraqi Freedom and Enduring Freedom, I myself have been in Iraq and Afghanistan and Africa and Central America and lots of places. But it truly was your generation and every time I felt like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I've done my job. I've done enough. It's someone else's turn. It was your generation that made me think, oh heck no. And it was, sadly, it was the way y'all were treated. that really made me
Yeah.
feel like, and that's honestly a big reason we're doing what we're doing right now, because it can never, ever, ever happen again.
That's right. That's right.
So if there's young people out here listening to this right now, you are listening to a real American war hero who not only was wounded and almost died for your freedom, he came back in and continued the fight. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to lay context, and
Oh,
people
that's
weren't
fine.
understanding
That's fine.
exactly what's going
That's
on
fine.
here.
Appreciate what y'all are doing. Really
Yes, sir.
do.
Yes, sir. And then you find yourself back in the trenches between bunkers again a few days later.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. Fortunately, that was the only time we got hit out there,
Yes, sir.
and I'm not sure how many we lost that night, but supposedly number-wise, we had a head count of over 200 North Vietnamese.
Whoa.
Uh,
Wow.
and
And two companies of y'all
yeah, 2 companies of
to
us.
start with, but you had lost you had lost your LP
Lost
and
LP
ambush,
and the
and then
ambush.
several
Yeah.
of
I can remember that morning when it got daylight of going out searching
Mhm.
for these guys, and I never had had an experience of touching, I guess, a dead person, you
Mhm.
know, and we had to pick those guys up
Bring them back.
and carry them back in.
No, don't be sorry. Here, I'm gonna grab this.
Um,
Don't be sorry, sir.
and I couldn't get over how heavy a dead person was. You know,
Yeah.
it took maybe 4 of us, you
Just
know,
dead weight.
to carry a person like that, you know. But that was an experience right there, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
carrying a friendly person back in, people that maybe you had ate supper with that night or something like that, that was out on this ambush and this LP, that they couldn't get back in. They got caught in between there.
There's a lot of people who misunderstand the medal, the Purple Heart medal specifically. Um, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I had a junior officer from any particular branch. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but he came up to me when I was in uniform once and reached out and touched my Purple Heart and said, "Was that a Purple Heart? Cool." And I really didn't know how to react. I stood there, tried to keep my military bearing, but he's still looking at it. So
Wow.
I knocked his hand off and asked him with as much respect as I could muster to keep his hand off my uniform. And there's nothing cool about it.
Wow.
And for me, it's the gravity of not the wounds I suffered. It's exactly what you said. It's the others that received it. Their families received it on their behalf. You know, it's those people out there that really makes that medal so fundamentally important, because there's nothing greater than giving one's lives for the country or maybe the family is the greatest gift, but for your country, for God, and for our way of life, there's nothing greater than that. And
Amen.
I'm sorry you had to carry your brothers back.
Yes.
I'm glad you did, though. There's still a lot of them left out there, and there's a whole operation out of Hawaii that tries to repatriate them.
Yeah.
So then how long did you stay in country after that terrible night?
Well, a year total.
Okay.
I was in there. I can't remember. We were in several instances close to what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
That was called Mole City,
Okay.
and I can remember another fire support base that we built was called Frontier City,
Okay.
and they were basically close to the same size. You know, a couple companies, you know,
Yes, sir.
involved in building them and all, you know. But we would go out daily.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times we were sent out in choppers, to sweep an area
Yeah.
in the jungle and all. And there's a big thing now about Agent Orange and all. And some of the times that we would go out, we would see them spraying,
Yeah.
and we would actually go into a jungle that was still damp
Mm.
from the spray of Agent Orange. And I don't know whether I have some issues, health issues. I don't know whether any of them are from Agent Orange or not,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm glad to see them finally, you know, uh, saying that was a hazard
Yes,
to
sir.
us, right?
Yes, sir. I'm glad also. I just wish, honestly, I wished our government would have owned up to it a lot sooner.
Yeah.
Now that I'm not wearing the uniform, I finally feel the First Amendment right to say those things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, I love this country. You've loved this country. If this country would have loved your brothers just as much, they would have owned up to that sooner. And
Right.
we need to make sure we're doing better. And we are. We're voting. People vote, and people are doing what's right.
Yeah.
We just need to make sure people don't get forgotten ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And on that note, when you came home, we talked about how patriotism was before you left. How were you treated when you got home? Or are you comfortable talking about this?
Yeah, I don't really recall anybody trying to harm me or voice their opinion
Okay.
to me, really. I guess maybe where we lived and the friends that we had and all. Of course, a lot of the friends are on the wall that didn't make it back,
Yes,
you
sir.
know. But it wasn't as bad for me as I'm sure it was for other veterans.
That's a breath of fresh air to hear.
Yeah, right.
In your case, anyway.
I
So,
guess more so before I went in, you would see it on the news all the time as far as uh, people going out of country to get away from being drafted and all.
Yeah. Well, I know you would never dodge the draft, but if you could go back again to that very day, and if it were hypothetically an involuntary enlistment versus a draft, would you do it over again the same way? Would you go back there and serve your country the same way you did?
I would.
You would. Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you, and welcome home.
Thank you.
So we're still talking to a hero, and if you've not picked that up in this segment, please call me. I'd like to enlighten you on some things in this world. But you are talking to you're hearing a genuine hero today, um, and what I want to ask you about is patriotism now. If you were to be able to talk to a class of potential high school juniors and seniors that are at the age when they could pursue an academy or an enlistment or just come out and join the workforce, what do you think? What do you think? What advice would you have for this next generation out here?
I don't know. I don't really know what I would say.
Yeah.
I would ask them to be patriotic and tell them that the military has a good position for everybody. And if they're coming out of school and maybe don't know what they want to do, to consider enlisting. And I know we've had from our church is big on patriotism. We've had several young guys that have gone into the military and are serving our country right now. And
My hat's off to them.
yeah, amen, brother. And some of them are actually in the 25th that I'm in.
Yeah.
Which is based in Hawaii now. And But I would just encourage young people what I could, and not to tell them a bunch of war stories or anything like that, because I'm sure things now are a lot different than they were 50 some years ago when I was in, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think so as well.
yeah,
But even 20 years ago when I came in, things are much, much, much different now. And um, I guess that's progress. I think there's a little bit of maybe disconnect with technology between what a soldier does and what they may own responsibility for. But I don't know. This is beyond my well beyond my pay grade. But
yeah,
I know there will always be a need. As long as we want to live in a free country, there will always, no matter what technology brings, be a need for a man or a woman to stand with a rifle and protect us.
that's right.
There will be, and you did it in your time, and I thank God every day that people are still doing it.
And yes,
Because I can't. I mean, you can't, and we just did our time.
right.
So, I really thank you very much for having us out here and taking the time. Is there anything else you want to add? Anything you want to talk about here?
No, I just appreciate. I'd never heard of y'all
Yeah,
until last night, and through my son-in-law Tim.
yeah,
Uh, he had sent me some emails and showing me the van and all, you know, and thank goodness that y'all got the help that you needed
yeah,
with
yeah.
the van.
A lot of
And
people laugh at us about that van, but it's functional, it works, and we paid bare minimum. I mean, all of the okay, so we have about a twin size cot that we mutually sleep on together with our 11-year-old Dotson, not much larger than that.
yeah,
Um, and that's about it. And then besides that, it's all workspace where we have desks where as I'm driving,
uh-huh,
my wife will be over there typing the stuff up and vice versa if she's
yeah,
driving, and we just um, but we know that there's so many people like you out there who have gone their whole lives without a lot of them talking about this stuff, and they may want to continue to do that, and I respect that, but I feel like if we don't capture and tell these stories, our following generations are going to continue to not understand. And I don't know, I feel like I have enough energy and enough life in me now that, and I can afford to sleep on a twin bed for 2 years with my wife in a cot, and I'm okay with that if it means making sure it doesn't happen again.
amen.
That's
Yes,
to me,
yes,
that's what means everything to
yeah.
us.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is something new for y'all too, and
Yeah,
uh, we'll be praying for y'all
thank you.
that the Lord will guide you to people that you need to talk to, and this may help them. It may help them to be able to come out some, that maybe they're holding back something for 50 some years,
Yeah,
you know, that they need somebody to talk to,
yeah.
and we really appreciate both of you for what you're doing.
Do you have a tribe? Do you have someone you talk to?
No, not really. I mean, you know, I've got some real good friends. Most of them uh, haven't been in the military.
Yeah.
Uh, Real good close friends that I can call if I need something,
Yes, sir.
and I credit that through our church, and uh, yes, you know, I don't have anybody military wise that I talk. Now I do have one friend.
Hmm.
I forgot about Phil.
You have two now.
Huh?
You have two
Two
now.
friends now. Phil is Silver Star.
Whoa. Okay.
Uh, uh, he unfortunately lost his wife uh, about a year ago, and I go by and see him and talk to him some. And I don't know why I had forgotten about him, but yeah, he and I went in same time.
Mm.
Uh, went in the Fort Bragg same time and went to Vietnam same time, and we sort of got separated in Vietnam.
Mm.
But he is a good friend that I get to talk to and visit with. Mhm.
Good. Good. I went through a phase where I wanted to Well, honestly, I wanted to potentially get my head better, so I separated from anything related to veteran things and went to art school of all places, and did a lot of internal looking, which was very healthy for me at that time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm a very good artist, but it was less about making art and the way they make you look internally to express yourself. I thought was better than any therapy because I don't want to lay on a couch and talk. But if you give me a paintbrush or some chalk and let me go do something, and I'll figure it out. So I went there and did that, and it was very introspective. But then I found, although I got a little healthier and met my future wife and things, I found I was missing the veterans sometimes too.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's that understanding, someone who maybe they don't have the exact experiences, but you can't fathom Afghanistan or Iraq like I can't fathom Vietnam, but there's a shared understanding of how heavy a body is that we can both relate to. And
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lauren.
I
Thank
think
you, Poppy, for being good.
she was really good. You should have brought her some treats. Hey, puppy.